You're watching CNN News 18. I'm Arunima. DMK has hardened its stance on the twin issues of population-based delimitation and three-language formula as envisaged in the national education policy. The party, after a meeting on Sunday, has resolved to raise the matter in the parliament, collaborate with like-minded parties in the India bloc, and also reach out to parties in South and East India to forge a common strategy. Stalin is already seeing Karnataka and Telangana voicing direct support, while Andhra Pradesh acknowledging concerns about population control measures proving to be counterproductive for southern India. But the centre has already said no one will be penalised when the delimitation exercise is carried out. On the language issue too, BJP is questioning the real motivation of the DMK. On the explosive weekend debate tonight, we then ask, is the language and delimitation war then just MK Stalin being stubborn, or is this pure politics in an election season?
We have no grudges against anyone, so it cannot be done on the basis of population. And our leader has taken a decision and has passed a resolution. Parliament second part of the budget session commences. We all will raise our voice on various rules.
Joining us on the show tonight, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Tuhin Sinha, and our three political analysts, Syed Asad Abbas, Pullar Rao, and Sanjay Rana, to help us understand the point of view of Congress, the DMK, and the centre. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking time out and coming on the show tonight. I want to begin with you, Mr. Pullar Rao. Help us understand what exactly is the DMK's point of view. What is the objection? Because Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan has already clarified there's no imposition of Hindi. The national education policy, in a sense, is trying to give more impetus to learning the vernacular language, learning the mother tongue, as Home Minister Amit Shah has often said as well. What then is the concern that DMK has? Where is the Hindi imposition angle coming in from?
Well, these are not new issues. They're very old issues. Hindi as an issue, there are problems in Tamil Nadu and some other parts of the country right from 65. And then there's various formulas came, and this is a continuing situation. People have to understand that in Tamil Nadu, there's a special affinity to Tamil. Maybe in other areas they have for their own language, but very, very deep affinity. And it's something you have to understand. I don't say other states don't have it, but not this deep. And it's not a new issue suddenly brought out of the pocket. And while the centre has a right to have its policy, the last word, either you take it or leave it. That's not becoming of a union minister. He should not. I believe that Stalin is a senior enough politician, 55 years in politics, that he should have been invited to sort it out as far as the language is concerned.
Okay.
As far as delimitation is concerned, it's also not a new issue. This same issue came up in 71, 72, and in 76, the 42nd Amendment was brought to ensure that states have the same number of seats. Further on again, during Vajpayee's time, a BJP Prime Minister of great fame, 2001, 2002, they brought the 84th Amendment to freeze the seats, whatever the population, delimitation within a state. These are not new issues. These are old issues. And it would be better for whoever opposes the DMK's views to sit down with them and talk.
Okay.
This is not, this is not going to be convinced by reason, by good arguments. We have to talk to them, find the middle ground, and go forward in the interest of harmony in the country.
Tuhin Sinha, it's a federal form of government. I mean, we have Home Minister, Prime Minister themselves acknowledge that Tamil is an important part of Bharat, of our cultural, what we bring to the table as far as India as a whole, Bharat as a whole is concerned. Does it make sense then what our political analyst, Mr. Pullar Rao, is proposing, that rather than clash on this issue, try and find a middle ground, try and forge some kind of a common ground so that the concerns of Tamil population is also kept in mind?
Well, good evening, Arunima. Good evening, everybody. You're right. DMK today does not make any sense. It is a rebel without a cause, much like the Congress party. Now, the whole premise of Canadian politics and of the whole premise of DMK's politics has been to stoke a divide between the North and the South, which is what it is once again desperately trying to do through the language divide. But when it tries to reach out to the southern states, when it tries to make it a North versus South issue, they must also realize that Karnataka was one of the first states to implement NEP. And even under the Congress government in the last 2 years, it has had no problems with NEP. Now, Chandrababu Naidu has strongly advocated a three-language policy. So where is the support for DMK? The DMK's notoriety lies in the fact that one way or the other, it is always trying to stoke a divide between North and the South. On the issue of delimitation, once again, let me call out its bluff. 3 delimitations have happened in the country. North has been pending for the last 50 years. The whole premise, the whole objective of delimitation is to balance population growth with the aspirations of representation. Now, that cannot be set aside, that cannot be abandoned just because DMK has a problem. Now, let me give you the example of another state which has an almost identical population. Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have almost identical population, roughly 8.5 crores. Now, Madhya Pradesh has only 29 seats. Tamil Nadu has 39 seats. So where is it an issue of North versus South?
Okay.
And even in the present conditions, assuming that the delimitation happens in the conventional way that it has happened in the past, the Tamil Nadu stands to gain 2 seats. There is no state which is going to lose any seat whatsoever.
Okay. I'm going to discuss delimitation in a little more detail. But Syed Asad Abbas, if DMK is a rebel without cause, as Bharatiya Janata Party is labeling them, then why is it that the Telangana Chief Minister also is throwing his weight behind the concerns that are being raised? Is there a genuine concern down south about Hindi imposition? The Telangana Chief Minister there saying that not much has been done by the central government, even though Telugu is one of the maximum speakers in this country. Why, again, to repeat myself, why this concern about Hindi imposition vis-a-vis NEP when it is being repeatedly clarified that this is about promoting the vernacular and not imposing Hindi?
Arunima ji, I've always believed with great power, there's great responsibility and equal accountability. The fact of the matter that my friend Tuhin Sinha of the BJP thinks that DMK or Congress party or other parties, basically the parties here from the south of India, are rebel parties is absolutely unfair and wrong. These parties are the elected members' representation who voice the opinions of the people on the ground. Now let us address this. The fact of the matter, let us understand, be it Tamil in Tamil Nadu, be it Telugu in Andhra Pradesh, be it Kannada in Karnataka, or Malayalam in Kerala, these languages are ancient languages with great prominence. The fact of the matter, we need to understand that India is a beautiful country. It's a state federalism structure where every 100 kilometers we see a change of language, name, behavior, caste, pattern, dress, food, cultures, traditions, all of that. So this must be respected wholeheartedly. The fact of the matter, many a times we've seen the Bharatiya Janata Party showing a certain dominance of the Hindi language, saying it's the official language, national language, so on and so forth. Let us understand, India is like a beautiful hand where every single finger matters to us, like every language. Language today, if you look at Tamil, they take it as a religion. Through Tirukural. I come from the state of Karnataka and I can tell you the language, Lord Baswana and Rashtrakavi Kuempu. So language is in our blood. So anytime when there is any infringement upon the same or imposition upon the same, it really matters.
No, but where is the infringement is what I'm trying to understand. Where is it being imposed on you? Why is this imposition or infringement sentiment originating?
When Amit Shah ji many a times in his speeches speaks that Hindi is the national language or Hindi is the official language or Hindi is there is an imposition. Okay. I believe that official language is not all. We don't really have a national language, that this is one language. Every language is important. Every language is national language. And therefore, any prominence or any dominance of any language does really matter.
Okay.
We need to understand that respective states across the length and breadth of India, every language must be respected and taken into cognizance.
Okay, Sanjay Rana, now let's also focus on the other issue that is being raised by the DMK, which is that of delimitation. As far as population linked with census and therefore linked with delimitation is concerned, NDA's own alliance partner, Chandrababu Naidu's party has also raised concern about population control measures proving to be counterproductive for southern Indian states. So is there a real concern that the centre needs to acknowledge, concern that southern Indian parties or southern Indian population is expressing now about representation in parliament? Do you think the centre is aware and is doing something to address this concern?
Arnava, good evening, my fellow panelists. First of all, we need to understand the delimitation process and how it's happened. It's governed by a retired judge of Supreme Court. Obviously, the committee is going to run. It is not controlled by any central government, or any form of the interference, including the Supreme Court. They cannot interfere. Number one. Number two, when we talk about the delimitation, Amit Shah has categorically mentioned that it's not going to impact any of the state which is there. But we asking again question. Rahul Gandhi keep on saying that sabka jitni jiski bhagidari uski utni hissedari. Same way, if it is implementing, it's supposed to implement in 2001, it didn't happen because of could not able to create a consent between the party and between the people. That's why it's pending since long, and it's agreed during that time it's going to happen in 2026. So first of all, any policy, whether it's education policy or the delimitation, if anything is coming, which require a discussion. If you have any concern, you have to raise it. And if you're talking about education policy, everywhere, 3 languages is there. If you look at, I live in Noida, and I think your studio is also in Noida. Kids are, learning Spanish, German, and other foreign languages. And as far as the Tamil Nadu is concerned, I was working with one of the multinational, keep on traveling to Chennai very frequently, and people speak Hindi. I'm not imposing Hindi, but if you know the Hindi, if you look at the graph of Hindi speaking, 1991, as per census, 34 crore people were speaking Hindi. And as per the 2011, about 53 crores. And if you look at Tamil, 5 to 7 crores. So language is just a media between one person to another person, the communication media. And as much as language we know is good. Where the government is imposing and forcing to do it, it was forced by Indira Gandhi government in 1968. That's why this agitation happened in long back in Tamil Nadu. Scenario has been changed. Government is not at all forcing. They are saying, please learn the language. You can learn Tamil. Tamil in English is there. Kannada you can learn it. Malayalam you can learn it. You can learn Telugu as well. It's all up to you.
I think Mr. Pullara wants to come in there, Sanjay Rana. Give me a moment.
Second, I'm finishing. I'm just 5 seconds. If you look at 22 states are there, 19 states adopted Hindi, and 16 to 14 states adopted Sanskrit as a third language. So statics saying totally different thing, and you are talking something else. You need to do the politics, is okay. But why you're stopping the kid to learn the language? Language cannot be is a form of communication. Allowed other people to learn it.
Right. Mr. Pullara, I know you want to respond on the language issue, but on the delimitation also, do tell us, I mean, delimitation, like our, analyst Sanjay Rana just pointed out, is based on a judicial commission's report. Before that, census has to be carried out. Census has not happened so far. Till you know what is the population, you can't really carry out delimitation exercise. So is the DMK putting the horse before the cart before the horse in that sense? Just because 2026 we might see Tamil Nadu go to polls, is this pure politics that is happening, trying to once again foment sentiments amongst the Tamil population?
So the issue has come up now. The issue of NEP and delimitation has come up now. DMK has not created it, or Revant Reddy has not created it. It has come now. Number one, I heard what Mr. Rana said. He has explained the process. But the commission will go by what the law says. The law said in 2001, 2002 that the seats will be frozen. That is the demand. That is the demand of the sort. Freeze the seats. Now, I heard repeatedly that the Home Minister said, no one will lose, you will get more seats. I mean, it's a very, very unfortunate thing that people have not understood. Tamil Nadu will get 1 more seat, 5 more seats. Andhra, Telangana together, Telugu states will get another 5 seats. Uttar Pradesh will get 40 more. Rajasthan will get 20 more. You see, it is not proportionate. People may say, my friends can rightly say, what about population? Are they following population in America? California, there are 2 senators for 50 million voters. And in another state, for 50,000 voters, they have 2 senators. You have to have, in a democracy like India, my question is simple. Why confrontation? Why? We're only 75 years old democracy.
Right.
Many issues have to be settled. And we have enemies on our border. 7,000 Why? Why not take the softer path? Don't try to win the argument.
Sinha, I want
The
to bring you
argument
in
can
on
win.
that one. Delimitation cannot happen till the time census has been carried out. There is this,
Sorry, no
sense
need.
of unease. There is...
Arunima ji,
Yes.
as per the law, if they start delimitation today, there is no need of census. Remember, it is 2026.
That's exactly what I was asking Tuhin Sinha, that there is this sense of, misgiving amongst the opposition parties or amongst DMK that you're going to conduct the census in a way that it benefits you, census followed by delimitation, in a way that it benefits you as in the Bharatiya Janata Party-led centre ahead of the 2029 elections. That's the political misgiving. We still don't know why is census being delayed. Putting that record straight either on the floor of the parliament or elsewhere, will that not be a way forward to gain confidence and be non-confrontational?
20 years ago, when we decided that that the delimitation would be frozen for another 20 years, we did not. We were not. We had not estimated that we would be in a position that we would be that we are in now. We didn't know in 2003 we would form the national government in 2014, and then we would. So I think these are baseless allegations which are being leveled. Fact is that the three previous delimitations which have taken place pre-1971, did that impact the unity of the country? They did not impact the unity of the country. Where was Pulla Rao then? He must have been a young man, a child who did not know about these things. Today he has grown up. He's trying to create a divisive agenda in the country. The fact is, three delimitations have taken place in similar manner. It has not created any ill will against any states. Fact is, these people refuse to. Syed talks big things about the unity, but these people refuse to see India as one. They want to divide one state versus the other. They want to divide the north versus the south, and that is precisely why they have these apprehensions.
Okay. Syed Asad Abbas wants to. Yeah, he wants to interject and respond to that.
Yes. Firstly, Tuhin, mere bhai, sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara. North, south, east, west, we are together one, sir. Absolutely not. लेकिन जब नाहक होता है उसकी बात करनी चाहिए. Firstly, Arunima ji, you're absolutely right, ma'am. There cannot be delimitation without census. I think the Bharatiya Janata Party, Amit Shah ji, the Honorable Home Minister, if they are serious about delimitation, census must come through. There are no doubt about it. And we all know that this will be on a pro rata basis or on the population basis. Allow me to continue, sir. Let us understand India in its democracy is a state federal system. I'm not saying absolute no to delimitation, but along with the state representation of the chief ministers, there needs to be a dialogue, there needs to be a strategy, a blueprint, a draft, without which, where is the formula, sir? You don't really even have a formula on the delimitation front. Now, very important point, ma'am. Now, if you look at it, South share may drop by 24% of seats to a 19%. Why? Because the South has been disciplined in terms of the population control, whereas TDP's chief Chandrababu Naidu ji has also raised his concern on the same. Let us understand that undoubtedly in the Hindi heartland, like Madhya Pradesh, like Rajasthan, Gujarat, UP, Bihar, the Bharatiya Janata Party has a clear dominance. So therefore, if it is going to be on population, if there are going to be more number of seats, it's quite but obvious that the Hindi heartland and the BJP's vote bank representation will be much higher.
Okay, Syed Abbas, I just have to now invite the closing comments. I'm running out of time. Starting with you, Tuhin Sinha, if you could just clarify what Abbas just said and what is of concern also. When Home Minister says that there will be no discrimination against anyone, we'll decide on pro rata basis. We still don't know what the pro rata basis means. How does one convince MK Stalin's constituency that there's going to be no discrimination as far as delimitation is concerned?
Manufacturing hallucinating things that don't exist is something which the Congress party and the opposition parties have been doing. Number one, the census is not taking place over here. The delimitation will happen after the census. Number two, like I've already mentioned, in a similar manner, 3 delimitations have taken place. The government has no control over it. It's a delimitation commission which carries this out.
Right.
These people don't know it. At the end of the day, they keep complaining because you are dominant in Hindi heartland. Tomorrow we are going to be dominant in the south also.
Right.
Rest assured, tomorrow we are going to be
distant dream.
Pulla Rao, closing comments. You just have 30 seconds.
Pro rata means according to the population. I think Amit Shah ji has made a small error in saying I'm going to give according to the population, pro rata. That's what everyone is opposing. There's something more than the numbers. There's sentiment and there's a feeling of equal democracy, continuing democracy.
Sanjay Rana, closing comments. How does centre really ensure that the federal spirit is continued and the sense of unease in southern India is addressed?
I was surprised to see the statement made by the two analysts. Absolutely, I'm not able to digest the statement, what they're making. If all the rules have been made by a long time ago, it's not made by Bharatiya Janata Party in last 10 years. So they need to understand if it's a population basis or what basis, number one. Number two, when we talk about strategy and the planning, strategy and planning will be there when the scheme will be going to implement. The scheme is not going to implement, it's just in a talk. And people are referring 2026 because it was given in 2020, 2001.
Yeah.
That is going to happen in 2026. So that pattern you cannot take it. Obviously,
Just
we need to
10 seconds,
Okay.
Arunima ji.
Okay,
10 seconds.
I wish
10
I
seconds.
could say this,
Just
but
10.
I have completely run out of time. But I really appreciate all of you, Tuhin Sinha, Syed Asad Abbas, Pullar Rao and Sanjay Rana, for coming on our show and helping us understand, helping our viewers understand what is on the table at the moment. From tomorrow onwards, the Parliament's second half of the budget session is reconvening, and this issue of delimitation plus national education policy is going to be raised by the opposition parties. Remains to be seen how the centre really tackles their concerns on the floor of the House. Slipping into a very quick break, but news coming up on the other side. Stay right here.